Hello everyone and welcome to Blank First Page. My name is Lucas. This video is all about sharpening and sharpeners. Conceptually, I've got a couple of problems with sharpeners. One is that it is a single-use tool. I like things that are functional. In my broad sense of being functional, it means also being versatile. A chef's knife is a perfect example of such a tool. You can use it to debone a chicken, you can use it to fine dice an onion, and you can use it to crush garlic. A garlic press does one thing. It presses garlic quite efficiently, but that is all it does. Sharpeners are the garlic press of the stationery world. For the majority of my stationery using life, I've avoided pencils and been frustrated with pencils because of the sharpening process. And that's the result of two things. One is when you sharpen and the lead breaks, it's one of those just incredibly irritating things. It's a sort of a nails on a chalkboard feeling, that lead breaking in the sharpener. You know, you're gonna have to kind of dig it out, slam the sharpener. Just one of those irrationally frustrating things. And the other thing is getting the right cone shape, and I'm going to call this the cone shape. There's probably a technical term for it, but I'm referring to how the pencil goes from the body of the pencil to the point. There are a few aspects to the cone that is formed by a sharpener: the overall length of the cone, how much lead it allows to protrude from the body of the pencil, and the profile of the cone itself. Most standard sharpeners that you get from a school or an art supply store, they create a rather short and stubby cone with not much lead sticking out. In my view, the most pleasing cone profile to write with is one that maximizes the distance between where the body of the pencil ends and where the tip of the pencil starts. If the sharpener can even provide a bit of a concave profile, which some do, that is even better. Somehow, and I don't know why, but it creates this feeling of a floating body of a pencil away from the paper. So like I said, I avoided pencils because of sharpeners, but as I got more into stationery, I got more into pencils, and therefore I wanted to have something that sharpened them with the right profile. And after a bit of research, I came across the Blackwing two-step sharpener. And the two steps it's referring to are, first off, to shave off just the wood part of the pencil body, and then in the second stage of the pencil, you actually do the shaping of the pencil lead. And what you end up with is exactly the type of profile that I was describing, with a very long overall cone length and a nice sharp point. And I used that sharpener for a very long time. It actually comes with spare blades that you can swap out, which I did once the first set dulled down. And eventually those second set of blades also dulled down, and I found that I was snapping the leads in the sharpener again. So I started my research again to buy another sharpener, and I found out that the Blackwings are actually made by a company called Koom, which is a German company. It's actually stamped on the Blackwing sharpener body itself. Koom just makes a kind of a private label for the Blackwing, and these are the exact same sharpener. The Blackwing is made by Koom, and they just put a Blackwing logo on it. But if you buy the Koom, it's $8, and if you buy the Blackwing, it's $25. It's kind of like buying the house brand butter from the supermarket, which is made in the exact same factory as the brand name butter, just with a different wrapping on it. So I didn't know if the lead snapping was a result of the blades becoming dull or if it was just the sharpener design, but I thought for $8, I had a good enough hit rate with sharpening. I bought the Koom again, and it's been working quite well. Now, when I was doing that second round of research, I dug in deeper. You can get the brass-bodied sharpeners, but everything I found kind of wasn't offering anything different other than the object itself. And for me, I'm just after the practical use of a sharpener, so I wasn't looking for another desk accessory. So I just wanted the thing that would give me the best result. And through that, I got into the space of desk sharpeners. Now, these are the sort of the hand-cranked sharpeners. These run the spectrum from build quality and also price. The most expensive one I found was over 500 euros by a company called El Casco. I mean, it looks amazing and it'd be a great desk accessory, and it's made out of very high quality materials, but fundamentally it just sharpens your pencils. The next step down and to reality maybe is a Karan Dash, which is about 120 euros and dollars. And that is full metal body, full metal mechanism, but again, I am just after a sharpener and that's a bit too much money for me to spend. I also found kind of the plastic options of these desk sharpeners by companies like Derwent, which range from $20 to $40 depending on where you buy them and the features you can get on them. And broadly speaking, there are a couple of features on a desk sharpener. One is the way the pencil is gripped. There are these jaws that lock the pencil in place when you put it through the front of the sharpener. In a lot of the sharpeners, they are metal, which creates very good grip, but it creates grip by actually digging into the wood of your pencil. So it creates these indentations that you will then feel as you're gripping the pencil. Some models have a rubberized coating around those jaws, which work just as well, and they create the grip on the pencil through the friction. And I knew that that is what I wanted because I would not be able to stand having those indents on the pencil every time I'm writing with it. Then I was recently in a Muji store and I saw that they had a desk sharpener for 10 euros, and I just bought it because at this point I trust the quality of the things that Muji has. I took it quickly out of the box while I was in the store to have a look inside and see what the mechanism is made out of, and it's primarily metal. And so for 10 euros I thought I'll buy it. It does have the rubberized grip on it, which is great, but it doesn't have other features you can get on some of the other sharpeners, such as an automatic stop. And on some of the other ones that I was looking at, you can set the depth and the profile of the pencil itself. I have a single use for pencils, which is to write notes. So this kind of simple sharpener serves me just fine. And one of the nice surprises that I found as soon as I got home and I sharpened the pencil was that it adds a very slight concave profile to the cone. It creates a good point and a point that is also similar to the two-step point you get from the comb or from the Blackwing. So if you're like me and you just want a simple sharpener that works well and effectively and is not particularly expensive, definitely go for the comb. I can't recommend that enough. Now, what for me is the advanced sharpening is sharpening with a knife or with an X-Acto blade. Artists are typically quite good at this, and the reason for that, as I understand it, is you have ultimate flexibility on how you shape the profile of your pencil. I've tried it a few times to minimal success. I've tried it with a few different things. I've tried it with some pocket knives and an X-Acto blade. For my money, it's just too difficult. I can never get the shape consistent enough, and I just haven't had the patience to sit and whittle away pencils. I also feel that I'm wasting the pencils in the meantime while I'm practicing sharpening because I'm not getting use out of it. I'm constantly snapping the leads and ending up with profiles that I don't like, which then makes me not want to use the pencil. So I am sure I have missed out a whole world of sharpening and sharpeners. Please let me know in the comments what experiences you've had with sharpeners, any particularly good ones for everyone else to try out. The ones that I spoke about here have definitely worked well for me, and I can suggest them if you've found yourself in the same dilemma as I have. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.